So there's already hundreds of refugees housed here in Qatar. We're getting quite close to that deadline for international troops to withdraw. Are we going to see thousands arriving in the coming days?
It's very difficult to assess the situation. From our perspective, as the state of Qatar, we try to focus on the most vulnerable. So female students, for example, we've been focusing on that. In addition also to journalists and their families. Now, very difficult to speak to the rest, but I think we need to wait and assess the situation. Yet I should mention that we currently host actually in Qatar, beyond the ones that are hosted, the evacuees that are hosted in this compound, we're hosting around 6,000 more people in the military bases. From our side, I mean, those are people who are transiting,
right.
Actually. From our side, we're trying to provide the basic needs that they need during this short stay. Medical services, logistics, catering, etc., etc. Now, I should mention here that honestly, we didn't expect this number of babies, kids, pregnant women, and we're trying to cope with the situation. Everyone was talking about a timeline that would last for weeks or months, but then overnight, everyone was surprised that, you know, what happened has happened, and we need to deal with the situation.
Is Qatar near capacity yet?
That's a good question. We're trying to increase our capacity. At the end of the day, we're a small state that was not necessarily equipped with such a situation. To give you an example, this compound was originally built for the World Cup. So we're currently utilizing some of the World Cup facilities to accommodate the evacuees. So yeah, we're trying to increase the capacity basically.
There's been a bit of back and forth in terms of accusations. There was a suspension of American flights coming in for around 8 hours the other day. And there was a bit of back and forth as to whose fault that was. What's been the biggest impediment for you, for Qatar, in bringing people out of Afghanistan?
Well, the situation is very surprising to all of us. So honestly, at this point of time, we try to think productively and just think of solutions. We're trying to be solution oriented. Yet some more planning could have been way more helpful. To give you an example, the Qatar-led process for evacuation is a streamlined process where we get the names, we vet them, we check that the families are actually families, especially if there are kids involved, etc. And then we carry out the process. Once this vetting process happens, we communicate with our embassy there in Kabul. And then our embassy, the ambassador himself and his own personnel, security, they make sure to evacuate the people in shuttles that they secure. Now, due to the limited capacity there of our embassy, they try to do them in batches as well.
You're also hosting the Taliban. This has been their de facto office and headquarters for many years now. Do you believe them when they say that women's rights will be respected and that nothing will change?
It's very difficult to speak on anyone's behalf. At the end of the day, I only represent myself and Qatar. Yet, we've been mediating for years. And because of this mediation, now many countries, including Western countries, are able to do many activities, including evacuation, because we can discuss and negotiate and talk. So it's very important to have a mediator in the middle that is considered impartial by all parties to facilitate such talks. So we still believe that the role that Qatar played in the mediation has been a constructive one, and we're willing to continue this role, especially that now more than ever we receive more requests to actually continue doing that.
And could we soon see you also mediating in talks between countries who want dialogue with the Taliban?
We're more than happy to do that, yet the golden rule is the willingness from all parties. So we don't jump in, we just wait to be invited.
How soon could we see those talks happening?
Well, I should say that there are discussions that are more of technical discussions to facilitate things on the ground. Mm-hmm. These are happening as we speak. As a matter of fact, we keep receiving guests from different countries on missions that are not always announced to facilitate exactly that. Yet, if you're referring to the broader political discussions, this might need some time. We receive messages from different countries and we're conveying that. And we're hoping that at one point of time we will be able to help the people of Afghanistan. At the end of the day, this situation should not continue.